You might be wondering, did I just die then? And yes, I did. I apparently did not jump correctly, and I didn't go anywhere near the rope and fell to my doom. The reason that I've spliced that into this existing footage is because it had the title card, and then when I restarted Checkpoint, it didn't give me the choice to have that title card, so I kept it in more for hilarity and because of the title card than anything else. But be careful on the jumps, guys. There are times when you just do not get the momentum, or you do not get the distance you think you will, and then you fall gloriously to your doom and die. I am Seraphim17. This is my Uncharted 3 brutal walkthrough. This is Chapter 3, second story work. This is going to be yet more tutorialing, or tutorialization. Not even sure if either of those are a word, but we'll use them. We're creating new things here, guys. That's what we do. But this is going to introduce you to the chase mechanics and the idea of quick-fire platforming. So you can tell by the tempo that this is exciting and high speed, high octane, stressful environment of running away from these dudes that are trying to grab us. There's going to be a lot of creative camera work here and a lot of disorientating moments, and this is one of the moments in Uncharted games that receive both praise and criticism. The praise is, look how awesome this looks. It's dynamic, it's fast, it's cool, it makes you feel like you're in it. It's, it feels like a great action movie where there's a chase sequence. But the downside, and where the criticism comes from, is a lot of this is quick-fire decisions, and if you make the wrong decision, you die. Every time. It's a fail state. You get grabbed, end of game, restart. So it can become this trial and error, pick your own direction, horror survival book, where there are moments in those books where you pick a choice and you die, and then you go back and you pick a choice and you die. And it's a little bit comparable to that. I personally have never had too much issue with that setup, but I've read lots of criticisms of it, because it's essentially a very shallow way of presenting high-octane, involving set pieces that aren't actually involving at all, because there's only really one path. It's an illusion of spectacle. But in this sequence, I always felt that everything that's asked of you here is pretty natural. It seems like a natural direction, but you can fuck it up, because I've done it a million times. And it's just a cool section. But I mentioned in the previous video that we're going to be talking a lot of Uncharted. It's an Uncharted game, how could we not? And there's a lot of things worth mentioning. Like, just then, do you see that? For some reason, I didn't get the wall jump to go up and grab the handhold. And you'll notice, I didn't change my positioning at all. I just, for some reason, it didn't trigger it. And you might wonder, well, did you only press circle once? And if you've ever heard me play live, I never press a button once. I'm always pressing it until I see the animation. And there are just these instances where the game does very specific things. It's kind of interesting. A lot of dynamic stuff happening here too. Like, did you notice how I ran up the bed? I didn't press jump then, he did it dynamically. In a lot of games you would have run into the bed and probably been caught, but there are moments in Uncharted games where they've just got these wonderful ways of complementing the player. And I've always appreciated that. Be careful of this jump here. I remember missing that jump a few times on my first recording of the crushing guide I made a few years back. But this is the end of the video. Really not getting an opportunity to talk about this game, am I? But that's a couple of quickfire levels just booted away there, folks. None of them are going to give you any trouble. It's the shooting stuff that's going to really tax you later on. And there are some instances where I imagine it's going to be very difficult, so I will probably see you in those videos. And until then, thank you very much for watching. You take care now.